30% of where we call Enugu before is now about the coverage is say 80%, 85%, more than twice of what it used to be. So some areas may not have pipes linked to their residents, while some are within the network coverage area. So it depends on where they belong. If they belong to the side that have pipeline are within the network coverage area and they're not receiving water, they should be patient because they are carrying out a massive restoration of water supply within Enugu and within the existing service coverage area. And this involves removal of old aged AC pipes where necessary and replacing them with an equivalent a pipeline of designed uh, status in line with the master plan water design we have for Enugu. So it's a process, and we're taking it one step at a time. As we cover an area, we move to another area. And what has happened is the downstream end, which is within Enugu city, we had a lot of discontinuity in the pipe network, resulting in wastage. The water coming into Enugu will come in and will lose more than half to 60% through disjointed, discontinuous pipes, leakages as a result of bursts, and then theft. We have a lot of our people due to panic storage. They store more than they can have. Some have large reservoirs underneath their systems, and then so they, for fear of tomorrow, they will take what their neighbors and others will utilize too if they have the opportunity. So as we replace those pipes and restore water supply to any area, the other areas should have hope that they will get water. Yes. Let me start with the issue of power. Power is a necessary ingredient for consistent water supply into Enugu because we run a production uh, facility that is solely dependent on power availability. If you have power 24 hours, you have water more than enough. But what we have noticed over time is the TCN and the operators of the TCN and the distribution companies have uh, given out fluctuating power supply, and so it affects uh, our water supply into Enugu. From Oji to Enugu, it takes approximately, when you have an empty pipe, it takes approximately uh, 3 to 4 hours for water to move from the Oji water supply facility for water to get to the Milton Hill. So look at it this way. If you give us 6 hours of power, we've only succeeded in getting it into the 20,000 gallon tank at Milton. It's about 2 hours there. You may not get up to 1 meter of the 15-meter tank. So this is the issue. And when they now cut the power supply at that point, the water in the pipeline will continue to come into Enugu until it's empty again. So if within the next 3 hours water is not given, we're starting all over again. But if you restore power supply, maybe 1 hour after or 2 hours, it will not take up to 4 hours to come. It may now, because water will still be in the line, it will now come in earlier than that. And so that is one with power. To have consistent power supply we'll have consistent water supply to Enugu. Then on the issue of theft, we have been bedeviled with these vandals. They only come to steal our armored cables. The first one was at Umudin. They came and they cut our armored cables from the transformer. That has been replaced. That has been replaced. And then the other one, they come to 247. They come to cut armored cable to the transformer and disrupt our power supply, and that affects the water supply into the city. And you know, when there's no water supply, there's scarcity. People are yearning for water. A lot has contributed to that. So that is part of it. But the good news is that we've risen up to the challenge. We have a lot of security um, arrangements in place with hidden digital cameras, now surveillance cameras everywhere for us to be able to catch up with the vandals. Again, the major blow we had was the burning of our control room, where the panels that you know control power into our 9 mile facility and monitor and operation give us enough power for our operational activities. So that room was burned. Thank God we've restored everything, and we're making sure that we supply water to Enugu people. Uh, it will not be, we cannot continue to work without letting our people know that all this facility the government is providing is for our own benefit, and we should not destroy them or be party to the destruction in any way. No, what you have is an existing network, and we also have the designed water master plan for Enugu in place. Now, in trying to replace the old pipelines, the aged pipelines, we are doing that with reference to the master plan to make sure that if existing, for example, is 150 mm or 6 inches diameter, and the design says, look, it should be 300, 1 foot. As we are changing this pipeline now, we are replacing it with a 1 foot diameter pipeline along its course. And so what that means is that we place the master plan design on top of the existing. And as long as the pipelines that are existing are in line with the master plan, they remain there. But those that are not in line with the master plan are yanked off. We remove them and replace them with the appropriate sizes. And so you see, it's not a walk in the park. It's not in a day. We have to plan activities and replace them gradually. So that is those who are building on the right of way of our pipeline. Well, we have different government agencies that we're collaborating with them, like the Enugu Capital Territory, because we have a specific distance from the edge of the road to where your fence line should be. Most people go and put their fence line at the edge of the drainage, thereby usurping our utility corridor way. And so those fences must give way for our water and other utility corridor to pass through and serve our people. So as we lay these pipes and we get to such challenges, we inform the relevant authorities, and so far so good. We're getting them, we serve them in line with the law, and we demolish and move on. Well, let me say the division coverage is relevant here because it varies from zone to zone. So on a scale of 1 is to 10, I made distribution about a scale of 4. Between then and now, we're about a scale of 6. We're improving, and the remaining 4, hopefully, will soon achieve. We experience a lot of bursts, pipes, as we introduce water into different areas. And you will agree with me that to tackle a burst problem takes days. You excavate, you isolate the pipe, you get the parts, you put back, you you know, um, pressure test again to see whether is any leakage is going on, and you backfill. So imagine where we have treated over 100 busts. The past 3 months, over 100 busts of varying diameters, different locations, and I mean that slows down the process, and that's why it appears we are slow to act, but we're effective. Well, we have our zonal officers working in every zone. We have a schedule for water distribution. We are working on all the zones at the same time. We are not discriminating. And the problems we have are zone based. And as they come up, some zones don't give us challenges. Some give us more challenges than the other. And so once as we identify the challenge, people from the neighboring zones and other staff all rally around to make sure we solve the problem. So we're tackling all the zones at the same time because everybody wants water. Okay, now why we're even scheduling our water distribution is because the demand is higher than the supply for now. So to boost our supply, the government has just awarded the contract for the rehabilitation of Ajali water scheme, which is the conventional water treatment plant that we have, and that is to give us 77,000 cubic meters per day on completion. Now, on that alone, in addition to what we are having from the different production centers now, will more than give us enough water for Enugu. Now, for up and coming areas, zones like the premier area, the new Enugu, and all that, yes, we have other sources that will need to um, harness to improve, to increase our supply, to be able to reach out to those ones as we progress. There are so many options on the table. You can have isolated distribution, isolated treatment plans for different areas, and that will reduce the pressure on the Ajali and the water supply states. There are small schemes that we see that can serve, and then collectively everybody will have water. The way they can partner with us is to ensure that the utility provided for them in their different communities are protected by them. They should be able to raise the red flag when they are being overpowered by vandals, and then just say if you see something, say something. And you say something, you have a customer care details even on our Facebook platform, our Twitter platform. You have all those details for the water corporation for them to be able to reach out to. Phone numbers are there for the customer care. You reach out to the center, and then this is what is happening. Even for those who are now benefiting from the water supply, they should be able to reach out to in case they see anything going wrong, either burst pipes or whatever. They should be patient with us. We've identified all that needs to be done. People of MNA should be ready. They're the next to be served. And then Ido River, Abuani Road, those areas should be ready too because we are now ready to open up all the challenges we have within that area. We have solved about 60% of it. And so a lot of them will begin to feel the impact. And this was made possible only by our tireless governor who has supported and is continuing to support whatever solutions, whatever challenges we have in this water area. Without his support, there is nothing one could have done. And so he's on top of the matter with us, and we cannot but deliver. And so they should be hopeful that within a short time we'll get their water.